Welcome to the Bad Mom Show, where we flip the script on shame, shed light on what's made you feel invisible, and take your story back. It is time to step into that bold, baddie mom you were created to be. Around here, BAD stands for blessed, already approved of, and divinely designed, because you are not a bad mom. You are a leader. You were chosen for your family on purpose. You are divinely designed and anointed as the heart of your home, and you can confidently own your mantle of leadership as a fiery woman to lead with boldness, not burnout. This is your space to reclaim the parts of your story that have felt like weaknesses and discover they were actually your superpowers all along. It is time to shine as a BAD mom. Are you with me? Let's go. Okay, hey friends, welcome to the very first episode of the Bad Mom Show. I cannot tell you how excited I am to be here with you and how much it means to me that you are here. If you're listening, I have a feeling that you have asked yourself this question before, maybe in the middle of another sleepless night, or maybe after having a blow up with one of your kids, or just in the silence of your heart where you thought to yourself, am I really the only one that feels this way? Am I actually the problem? Like you are the only mom on the planet who has lost her cool or shuts down or does more to prove your worth that you really are a good mom. And you feel like you're failing no matter how hard you try. Here's this role that you have wanted that's supposed to come naturally, and you feel like you are failing at it. Well, I want to tell you something. You're not the only one. And there is a lot about being a mom that does not come naturally, in fact. And that is part of why I started this podcast. So I am so glad that you are here. First of all, I want you to know that this show is about being real, and we are going to be real and raw, and we are going to get to the truth of things because this is not another mom help show. Okay. This is not going to be a self-help course. No, we are going to get real and we are going to get with Jesus because that is part of this process, my friends. And in all transparency, if you are listening to this recording, you can't see my background, but we are still on vacation visiting our family for the summer. But I just felt in my heart, God was like, it's time. So I'm going. I'm taking that messy action. So my background is my in-laws beach house kitchen. You can see birthday signs in the background, but this is it. This is real. This is how it is. So let's come together and let's be real about the things that have tried to steal your joy and have made you play small in motherhood and kept you stuck in cycles and patterns of things that you know don't serve you, but you just seem like you can't stop. You can't stop doing it. You can't stop saying the thing you didn't want to say or doing the thing you didn't want to do or thinking and feeling the way you do. And that makes you feel like maybe there truly is something wrong with me. But I'm here to tell you there's nothing further than the truth. So let's get into it. See, I have been there too. Obviously, I have plenty of experience to speak from, but I was so shrouded in shame and living from this place of, I cannot let anybody know this about me because nobody else would understand. And the shame that came with that heaviness of like, oh my gosh, I can't let anybody know, not even my husband, how awful I am. It's such a vicious cycle. And so my story is very much a part of this show. I believed things that I'm going to check with you to see if you believed. Okay. There's this tape that sort of like an undercurrent playing in your mind that tells you that you are flawed. And you ask yourself, why can't I change? What if I am found out? What if I am exposed truly as this bad mom that I feel I am? What if I am actually turning into the mother I swore I never would be? Hello. And worst of all, what if I am ruining my kids? And that honestly was me. And truly, it sometimes still is. I still have those moments. They don't just go away. This is not a one and done. This is not just about mom guilt over a bad moment or frustration, but it's the deeper things that you have stuffed down or ignored or buried because you're just too busy to deal with them. those things will continue to creep up, right? Because they're there. They might be hiding in the dark, but they're there. And they're influencing how you think and feel. A little bit of my story. I was sort of labeled the bad one in my sisterhood, among my sisters. And I felt like it was true. And yeah, I was a bit fiery. I am fiery. I feel things deeply and I reacted a lot. And in my motherhood, I would see that coming out and saying things that I couldn't unsay and believing then that truly I was the crux of everything going wrong in my family. And it's not that I was aware that I was coming from this place in my childhood until I actually took the time to learn about how our stories impact us. But truly, from a young age, I had developed this habit of proving my worth. So I was going to perform the heck out of things and prove my worth. I don't know if you can relate to that. So you start basing your self value on how well you do, whether it's good or bad. There is no in between. So every day was sort of this like report card. Okay, how did she do? Good mom, bad mom. And it really felt like every time I had a moment that I felt was just me, having a bad mom moment, reacting out of frustration, blowing up, doing or saying the thing I swore I would never do, it felt like evidence that yes, I was a bad mom. Hey, friend. Thank you so much for being here and following the Bad Mom Show. I would love to hear from you, so let's connect. After the show, send me a DM and let me know what's hitting home for you. What do you struggle with the most as a mom? And what topics would you like to hear more about? This show is all about connection in the community because that is how we truly grow. So reach out to me at the Teresa Todd on Instagram, Facebook, or even TikTok, and I cannot wait to hear from you. So let's get to the deeper root. These were lies I was believing about myself. Not only that I was a bad mom, but that I also didn't know how to change, how to be a good mom. So I started learning, or rather unlearning some things. And it came through hearing another woman share her story. It kind of shed a light on things for me and made me realize, oh, there actually is a different way. But I had to release the control of trying to manage everything myself and let God into the story. So I started growing in my faith. I spent time with God and I started to understand that He had a very different story about me and He has a very different story about you. He also can take and use anything and everything from your past story, whatever pain, whatever labels, the rejections, the abuse, the words that were said over you or not said, the love that was denied, whatever it was, He wants those things. The things that you hold so close and think nobody else could understand. I can't let anybody know this thing about me. I don't even want to face this thing about me. He wants to take those things and use them for your good. And that is where He will really start to reveal your true purpose. So I began to let Him peel back the layers with His help. We started to rewrite the story. And it was hard, I'm not going to lie. And it's still a process. It takes courage to let Him into your mess. And it takes courage to face those things that you haven't wanted to. But He truly, truly wants your freedom. And this is how it starts. So I started to own the truth of what He said about me, that I am not a bad mom. Yeah, I have a fiery side and I am passionate, but those are good things. And I use them to passionately protect my children. I am not broken. No, there's nothing inherently wrong with me, but there are parts of my heart that needed healing. There was hurt there that I needed to bring to Him and start working it out. And to own the fact that it's a process. I am a work in progress, but I know that I'm at least a few steps ahead of you to be able to shed some light on those dark places and to let you know there is a better way and there is so much more to your story, that you are not meant to stay stuck in cycles of shame and pain and anger. You're not meant to play small. And you are not meant to shrink back into these lies, this false narrative about who you are and who you were created to be. No, God wants to elevate you in every way. You were made to boldly face the things that stunted your growth. When God created you, you had a true identity, but things came along that that kind of stopped your growth in those places. He wants to come in, and if you will let Him soften your heart, soften those places, and own your authority as His daughter, it will truly change everything. So that is what we are going to do, my friend. This show is for the mom who is looking for help, who is silently crying for it from the inside. And you might look like you've got it together on the outside. I could do that too. But deep down, I know I felt like I was unraveling. You might be doing all the things and yet still feel so alone, like it is never enough. And you wonder, why is it so easy for every other mom? And then there's that just deep question of what is wrong with me? Have you ever asked yourself that? What is wrong with me? Well, the answer is nothing. Nothing is wrong with you. In fact, you are perfectly normal. This is the reality. You are so not alone. You've just been believing some really convincing lies for a very long time. These lies that were formed in your childhood, they are part of your story. And that's not bad. It just is what it is. But they're wounds that you have to tend to. Things that have happened to you, things that were said or not said, that was not your fault. But now it is your responsibility to heal those things so you don't continue the pattern and you don't pass it on. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be brave together. We're going to get real and we're going to get to the root. We're going to expose the lies and heal what is underneath. We're going to own how God made you, fiery and all, and we're not going to fight it anymore. This is about reclaiming the parts of your story that felt like weaknesses and realizing that those are actually your superpowers. It's about leading your home from a place of wholeness, not hiding. And most of all, this is about truly believing what God says about you, truly believing it, not just, oh, yeah, sure, God. No, truly believing what He says about you. You are not too much. You are not too far gone. You are not behind, and you're not failing. You are His unique and wonderful masterpiece, a one of a kind. And He calls you His daughter. What could be greater than that? Creator of the universe calling you His little girl. And He chose you on purpose for your family. So stand in that authority, own that, even if it's just for this moment. Let that sink in and believe it. If you're tired of stuffing it down and holding it in or pretending you are fine while on the inside wanting to fall over, you are in the right place. So this is just the beginning, my friend. I can't wait to walk out this journey with you. And if this episode spoke to you, I would love it if you would take a second and follow the show. Make sure you subscribe to the Bad Mom Show. And if you could, leave a 5-star review, share something you got from today, and then please share it with another mom that you know of who needs this too. We need to do this together. And I will be back next week with episode 2. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. We are going to unpack what exactly it means to be a bad mom. And until then, I just hope this show spoke to you. And remember that you are exactly where you're meant to be. You are not too far gone. You are not broken. You are not a bad mom. But you are blessed. You are approved of. And you are divinely designed. The story's just getting started. I'll see you next time.